go. Chase is on a BMW again, and this time it's brand new. It's time to do a first ride. Let's go. Alright guys, Chaseontwowheels here at Mountain Motorsports in Roswell, and in front of us, you guys know we don't get a lot of them, but I snagged a 2022 BMW S1000R. If for some reason this thing is in the used department, I ain't going to ask no questions. This is their brand new model. It's been updated since the last model. Here in America, the 2022 is the first brand new one of this. I think over in Europe, you guys got this in 2021, but you guys know this is my segment, Hyper Naked. I'm loving it. Let's see what this thing looks like and let's see what it sounds like. Alright guys, that's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like now. Before we get this thing going, we got an ad real fast that helps support the channel, and that's how we get all this buttery footage for you guys. So we're going to sit to an ad real quick, and then we'll be on this thing.
I don't know about y'all, but here in Georgia, we have a helmet law. Now, is it meant to keep you safe? Yeah, you betcha. But there's another added benefit, hiding the hair loss that 2 out of 3 guys will experience by the time they are 35. Wait, 3 of us in the shop fall into that category. No! Luckily, there's Keeps, a subscription-based service with a focus on helping men keep their hair. With their clinically proven, researched-backed treatments to stop hair loss and improve hair growth, odds are you won't have this awkward moment anymore.
Hey, how's it going? Can I get a book of stamps, please?
I can't hear you.
Can I get a book of stamps, please?
I can't hear you with the helmet on.
Whatever.
Can I get a book of stamps, please?
This one's on the house.
And here's the best part. With Keeps, you can get quality expert care without even visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy because unlike grocery stores and convenience stores, you gotta lose the lid for stuff like that. Y'all, hair loss stops with Keeps. Leave the brain saver with the bike and get 50% off your first order by going to keeps.com/2wheels or click the link in the description. That's keeps.com/2wheels. Good looking out, Keeps. Now that I'm saving my hair, we can get back to the first ride.
All right, dudes. Thank you guys so much for sitting through that ad, because I am sitting through the heat today. Oh, but it's worth it. The heat is totally worth it because no key, and we're getting this thing going. All right, dudes. 2022 BMW S1000R. I am 5'10". I got a 32-inch inseam. I can flat foot this thing, but I do not have much bend in my legs, so keep that in mind. Again, 5'10", 32-inch inseam. Let's get her cranked up. A little buzzy at idle, but that's okay. We got a mode button, road, dynamic, and rain. You guys know we got to start it out in rain. We got a lot of stuff going on up here, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get this thing going. Guys, before we get going, if you're interested in motorcycles and you're on Discord, we've got an awesome Discord server that you should check out. It's all about motorcyclists digging bikes and stuff like that, so if you're guys looking for a motorcycle Discord server, I highly recommend it. And we're off. We are off in the awesome BMW S1000R. I have had to sit back and watch my buddy after buddy get an S1000RR, which is their super sport model. Everybody knows what the S1000RR is. And every one of them has said that it's absolutely amazing. And I'm over here like, man, I don't got to hook up at a BMW dealership. So when I saw this thing, I had to get on it so fast. And this is the M model. M, if you guys aren't familiar, BMW basically calls all of their like sport packages M's. They do it on their cars and their motorcycles. So we've got the top of the line model here. I don't know if I could be more excited for a BMW bike, honestly. Just to go over the competition real quick, we are looking at competition-wise the brand new Yamaha MT-10 SP. We're looking at the Ducati Street Fighter V2, maybe probably the V4 for this M model. We've got the CB1000R from Honda. Like this, I don't know if the category gets more stacked than the hyper naked market. It's been blowing up for years now, and we've got some amazing motorcycles. But anyways, guys, it's a first ride. Let's talk about body position. As far as the seat goes, I feel like it's the perfect feeling seat. It's a little firm, but it needs to be because this is a hyper naked. It's basically a semi-comfortable super sport. The seat's a little squishy, and that's as much as it needs to be. As far as my lower half is a little pinned up and a little comfortable. It's not like super sport legs all the way up. I'm totally fine with my lower half. My back half, I'm slightly leaned forward. I got my arms down a little bit. I would call this semi-aggressive. Gives you enough body position to move forward and lean in if you need to. I like this position a lot, honestly. It feels really good. It does sway to the more active side, the more aggressive side. That kind of fits me as a rider, you know. There's not really a good or a bad answer for that. It's more about what fits you, and this one fits me really well. All right, guys, I love passing this green light because what I do every time is I change the mode. We're going to change into road mode. I assume throttle off. We're in road mode. Rain mode seemed all right. It felt really, really tapered down, especially for such a powerful motorcycle. We're looking at I think in the 80s for torque and 163 horsepower. Very powerful motorcycle we are dealing with here. Here's another really cool thing about the M package. I didn't realize the importance of this one aspect of a motorcycle until I rode the Superleggera V4 last year, I believe. But one of the things you can get on this motorcycle, you know, BMW lets you upgrade everything if you want, kind of KTM-ish. You can get for the M package either forged wheels or carbon wheels. Now, these aren't the, I think these are the carbon wheels on it, actually. When you're riding on city streets, you really realize what lightweight wheels do, because we're on a big motorcycle. I think this thing weighs 426 if I remember correctly. It's close to that, but it just falls side to side and it's effortless. I didn't realize what carbon fiber wheels really did until I rode that Superleggera, and I was like, oh my god, carbon wheels. If you guys are into really agile motorcycles, try putting carbon wheels on your bike. I know they're crazy expensive. You will be shocked what your bike feels like. Is this car just gonna run into the orange barriers? So we're in road mode, guys, and between the carbon wheels and the body position, this bike is so easy to throw around here on city streets. Like, I truly mean it's shocking how light this bike feels. Like, I feel like I can just jump anywhere I need to. I love this for city streets, kind of like in traffic. I'm in road mode, and the bike is so tame, power-wise. That inline four, you know, the power, it seems like the power is held up a little high. But what that means is I can get this thing in third gear, and I'm in road mode, and I've got easy power coming on. It's very controllable as long as I don't let those RPMs get too high. As far as a street bike, this is great so far. I feel weird. In the past, I've not been the biggest fan of the BMWs, guys, and we might be changing our minds, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, just speaking to the updates on this bike, man, this bike, from what I can tell, especially the M model, is basically a streetable version of their S1000RR. It's got a new frame. It uses the engine as a stress member. It's got a new trellis subframe. It's got a new engine. Like, this thing is entirely updated for this year model. I gotta say, BMW has done a great job. I rode the previous year model of this bike, and I didn't think it was bad, but I just wasn't super here for it so far. We hadn't hit the highway yet. We got a lot of riding to do, but just kind of initial ride impressions. I am here for this. I don't like the buzzy at idle. I'm not a huge fan of that, I will say. I wouldn't have expected that out of a premium brand. We're gonna get to go? We're gonna get to go? Come on. Yeah, we are. This bike is so super sporty, man. It makes you work for that power. I can feel it when we go from not going at all. And as the revs increase, you can feel that power just being baby birded to you. And it's like, hey, there's a treasure chest at the top of that RPM range. You just got to get to it. Sitting at a red light, if we go side to side, I can start to feel a little bit of the weight, but honestly, that's nowhere near as bad as I would have expected it. God, it's a heavier motorcycle, I know that, but we are also going to swap over into dynamic mode. Dynamic suspension-wise, the bike is just doing all of its smart stuff. We got electronic suspension. Dynamic is letting the bike do all the work for me. I don't got to decide anything, so I'm going to take advantage of this electronic suspension for sure. And you know what? Before we get to the highway, let's get the mode into dynamic. Let's just live in the dynamic world. Dynamic for BMW, from what I can tell, it's just a smart mode. Bike decides what needs to be where. If BMW does anything, they do electronics well, so I'm going to let the electronics just run this motorcycle. Feel like that's probably what this thing was designed for. All right, it is god-awful hot. We need to go. I'm going to melt. Oh, I'm not. I'm going to stay alive. Woohoo! Where's that power at? There. It was before that. Oh, the air. This is that carbon fiber wheel thing, dude. I just slightly asked the bike to go in a direction, and it's just like, okay, it is so incredible. If I ever had a track bike, carbon fiber wheels would be so high on my list of things I want for it. It is, dare I say, game-changing. You do have to hunt for that power. I'm probably in a little bit higher of a gear than I really need to be in, but it runs like a super sport, man. It's got that power nested up high, which makes it good for road riding. But then whenever you need that power, if you're not in the right revs, you got to click down a gear, or you got to wait on that rev range. That's not really what brakes. That's not really what I am getting used to in nakeds. The naked class these days, I'm kind of looking for that V-twin gruntiness. So having the messing with the power and seeing where it gets delivered here, it is a little different from what my brain kind of defaults to. I don't know if it's a bad thing though. So guys, we are coming up on the highway. We got the bike in fully dynamic mode. We've got the M package, which basically lightens the motorcycle. So our 40 to 80 pull should be rather interesting. You know what? I was messing around with the settings earlier. You can put this thing into sport mode. Look at that. The gauge changes. We get braking and we get traction control. This will be, wait, does it? Oh, it only goes when we're moving. Okay. This will be exciting to have on during the 40 to 80 pull. All right, we're going to let these cars get ahead. We'll jump in that other lane and we'll haul ass. We are in a quick gear, boys. 40 to 80 pull 2022. Let's go. Oh, that's the child in me right there. I don't even think I took a breath and we were at 80 already. My God, shortest 40 to 80 pull I think we might have ever had. That was great. Nice showing. This bike knows what's up, man. Alright guys, we're here on the highway for the BMW S1000R single R. So how much of that maneuverability do we still have? It's a little more stable now, but still incredibly easy to move back and forth in the lane. Now, wind-wise, we do have a lot of wind Obviously, you guys can see the only thing kind of blocking the wind is our huge screen up front, and it's not doing a lot. But here's the thing, BMW's got you leaned forward a little bit, so right now I'm like Rose on the Titanic, man. I'm just leaning into the wind, and the wind is holding me up, so it's actually making me have to work less to keep my body up. Really don't care about this. I honestly think I could probably tour on this. Speaking of touring, we do have a cruise control. We can set it at 79 and we can just kind of cruise. I'm not a huge fan of the use of the cruise control. You have to pull it this way like that, and then you have to push it to the right. I don't love the mechanics of it, but I do love that everything's used on the left finger. I can just kind of maneuver everything here, so that's okay. I don't really have to cover power on the highway because, I mean, it's got a lot. As long as you're high up in the revs, we're chilling at, what, we can get in 6th gear, we're going 80, turn on our cruise and set it. The bike is at 5,000 RPM, so it is barely working. Everything's pretty solid, man. I got no complaints about cruise control. I got no complaints about highway. This thing feels more and more like a less fairinged super sport, though. It doesn't feel really like a naked. It really embodies that hyper naked with the power and performance here on the highway. Also, just as a note, if you are wanting a BMW like this and you want to tour on it, they do have the XR model. All right, we got our big turn up here. I'm pretty excited about this turn. I'm going to back off a little bit so we can have a little bit of fun. Let's enjoy it. Oh my god, I'm locked and I feel like butter at the same time. Man, that was nothing. I don't know how fast I was going. I could have doubled that speed and I could have still been chilling. Man, this is a phenomenal motorcycle. Okay, before I get too excited, guys, let's jump to the Cardo spot and see what the guys in the camera car think of the old S1000, or the new S1000R.
Pretty cool looking bike, very traditional BMW colors with the white, red, and blue. Always been a fan of that series of motorcycle, the whole S line. A great machine, well balanced, lots of power, all the brakes you need. Super nice bike, great looking bike. I know it's a well-built machine as well.
BMWs are over-engineered, and they're just a work of art, internally and externally. I personally think this is one of the coolest looking bikes you've ridden in a while. Love the red, white, and blue. Thumbs up.
All right, guys, thank you in the camera car for your opinions, and even more so, thank you, Cardo. If you guys want a discount on a Cardo unit, they are by far the best communicators you can get as a motorcyclist. We'll have a link for you in the description that'll give you a discount off. Make sure to check that out if you're looking for your next Bluetooth unit. And thank you, Cardo, for sponsoring the show. All right, guys, let's talk about some stuff. Power-wise, the power is delivered on this motorcycle extremely super sport style. Very in line with the inline 4. You're gonna have that low amount of power, not low amount of power, but like the power's gonna be much lower down low in the RPM range. And as you climb the RPMs, your power is gonna climb with you. So if you want to ride this thing in peak power, you're definitely wanting to be up there 8,000, 9,000 RPMs, at which point this thing is an absolute rocket ship. Suspension wise, I've had this thing in dynamic mode and it has been absolutely phenomenal. I would say top 3 bikes for our big turn. I felt super stable, and normally with super stable you have like a very you get a lot of feedback and you can feel the bike, all this stuff going on, but I felt super stable yet comfortable. A very odd sensation that's not normal. I'm totally sold on it. Now, power delivery wise, I don't have any problems with the ride-by-wire throttle. I actually feel connected to this motorcycle, and that's actually a big deal, because in the past BMWs have always gave me this feeling of I'm a user and I'm requesting the bike to do stuff. I'm finally starting to feel like a rider on a motorcycle, deciding what I want it to do. And that's been one of my main gripes with BMWs in the past, and it's so nice to see that they're finally getting that stuff together. Brakes wise, I've hammered on them a couple times, and Jesus Christ, The Brembo's up front. We got a Honda Accord by me, so I'm not going to show you guys. The brakes are very strong. You give them a little bit of pull, and you're like race spec coming to a stop. Kind of exactly what you expect out of a motorcycle with this level of pedigree. Here, let's honk on them. God! Oh, the brakes will make you laugh. You come to a stop so fast. I don't feel like I'm out of control, though, at any point in time. We got the ABS kicked on there. Look at us. Yeah, guys, brakes super strong. Now, one of the things I didn't touch on was the transmission, which in the past has been another thing I've kind of given crap to BMW about. The quick shifter on this bike is finally starting to feel where I want it to. The quick shifter is pretty smooth, and typically, you know, if you guys are fans of the First Ride series, we got a playlist in the description if you want to check out other First Rides. But if you guys go back and see other First Rides I've done of other BMWs, the quick shifter, it's too smooth. I almost can't feel like I'm shifting. If I was under heavy load at a track and I didn't get any disturbance, that might be a really good thing. But here, I'm mostly a street rider. I'm 95% riding on the street. When I can get a kind of a feedback from shifting, that's kind of what I prefer. And I feel like on the S1000RR here, the 2022 model here in the States, I'm finally getting the feedback from the quick shifter that I've really wanted for a long time from the BMW. So I'm really happy all around. Oh, that reminded me. So as a GoPro, you guys can't tell the angle we're at. We're slight uphill right now. The bike would typically be rolling backwards, but if you press on the rear brake, you get this little H comes up. What that stands for is hill lock. So right now, if I push backwards on the bike, you guys can see it's engaged the brakes. My foot's not on the brake in the rear and the front, and the bike's not going anywhere. It is implemented so smoothly. It's just a firm press on the rear brake, and this thing holds me in place. And now I'm not going to touch any brakes. I'm just going to shift into gear and start going, and it smoothly disengages. Very, very good use of the hill lock, or I don't know exactly what they call it. It's basically, it locks the bike up without you holding the brakes. Best implementation I've seen of that in a long time. Man, dude, this bike is stacking up. I was a little worried about it because, you know, I haven't liked BMWs in the past because of various reasons. I feel like BMW is solving every issue I've had. Anyways, let's talk about more issues that are solved. The cluster up here and all the controls. Now, the controls, there are a lot of them. It's a little overwhelming if you get into here, but I will say if you look at the controls and sit and play with it for a minute, it gets way less daunting. And BMW does the thing that I always wish motorcycle companies do if they have a lot of controls. They give me quick use buttons that get me to what I need. I got my suspension button here, I've got my cruise control, and I've got my mode button, and I've got my heated grips. Those are my main things that I will definitely need quick access to. I don't want to have to go to the menu to do that. Now, what BMW does for their menus is we have a menu button here, and we have this kind of scroll wheel guy that moves you side to side. As you guys can see, pushing this thing to the right changes our menus. We're in those sport menus right now. Now, as far as the buttons, pressing on the buttons, you get that perfect premium feel. I love the buttons here on the BMW. They are top echelon. As far as the screen, love the screen. I will say the menu system is a lot to dig through. You get a lot of options, which is great. I would probably put this screen on like number 2 screens for me. If the menu wasn't as hard to dig through, it might be a little higher. The only screens better to me right now on bikes are Ducati screens because they have their menu so dialed. BMW's right behind them, Triumph is right behind them. So BMW got a solid second place. The menu system's the only spot I feel like the BMW is a little complicated. I feel like they could probably simplify it a little better. As far as controls, guys, we got adjustable levers. These are not the M levers, by the way. There are like some advanced levers. These are levers that come on this bike. It is stock, and they are adjustable, so I got no problem. I do like the way they feel. It's also like 100 something today with 100% humidity, so I'm not going to turn the heated grips on. I won't be able to test that for you guys. One gripe I do have, though, we've got these comfort grips. And my only issue with them is that they are really thick. I don't prefer really thick grips. I prefer the kind of thinner ones. I don't know if these are specifically the heated grips, but these grips specifically are just a little too thick for me. Obviously, that's a real personal preference thing. If that's what you like, man. I don't like them. It's interesting, the thicker grip actually makes my hand cramp up. Not really sure why. I like those tiny grips so I can just hold like a little ninja. All right, guys, so I know with our camera car, you guys have been able to check this bike out for a while, but this is too beautiful of a bike for us not to pull off up here and me do a little walk around of it and get some photos for you guys. So we're gonna pull off up here. We're gonna do a little quick walk around of this motorcycle because it'd be looking good, fam. There we are, fam. We'll turn it off with a little button press. 2022 BMW S1000R M model. We even got a little M seat. All right, guys, you see the little quick shifter down there. If you guys aren't familiar with the old model of this, it's the one that had the asymmetrical headlights. That never really screamed BMW to me. It screamed the old BMW, like old BMW motorcycle, but this bike, especially with all the M coloring, this bike screams BMW. You guys will notice part of that M package, you get the Acro exhaust here on the back. You can see the M wheels. I think these are actually the forged. I don't think these are the carbon fiber. Yeah, those are the forged wheels. Well, those are great. Carbon fiber probably going to be even better than that. We've got the electronic suspension. I love this bike. I love the way it rides, obviously. You guys have heard me talk about it, but BMW is at the pinnacle of their game with this bike, in my personal opinion. I will say the cat here at the bottom of the exhaust is a little bit of a lot. It kind of sticks out to me, but you know, the white, the two-tone blue, the red, the kind of bronze here that matches that. Chef's kiss, BMW. Man, I got nothing else to say. I love the hell out of this bike. The only thing I would change, the grips. All right, guys, I'm going to pull out my camera real quick. I'm going to take a couple photos for Instagram. If you guys aren't following us on Instagram, we are at C2DubPics. We're trying to post a lot more reels over there. So if you guys want some videos, some more of that short form content, you can check it out. But for now, we're just going to take some photos. Oh yeah, check it out. Check out the bag I got. Gonna be we got a new bag from Kriega to take out to the ADV Fest. Shout out to ADV Fest. Get your tickets ASAP. But yeah, we had to get a little bags so we can live and not die. All right, this should be pretty easy. I'll see you guys in a second. Super freaking cool. Oh man, BMW, get in contact with us. Let us loan one of these for a little while. I would absolutely love to make some content on this. If anybody watching this video has any sort of contact at BMW, please let them know that your boy needs to loan one of these to get some, I need some serious time on this bike. It's too good to only make one first ride. I feel like I need to make all types of content on this. So, or just share this video to BMW and be like, hey, you guys need to, send Chase a bike out. Handlebar are all the way locked. Let's see how she blows. Not too bad. Kind of medium of the pack. Nothing, not the greatest by far. Haven't had any problems kind of maneuvering the bike around though. All right, guys, time for us to wrap this video up. And you guys know I like wrapping these first rides up with kind of talking about who should who's this bike made for? Now, we've talked a lot about this bike, so I'm not going to go into the specifics of the motorcycle, but the person that this bike I feel like is made for is the person, you're kind of like me where you need to, because of back issues or something like that, you want a motorcycle that you can put a lot of time in on, but comfortably and ride aggressively. I do enjoy riding aggressively. I love going to the mountains and really getting the bike leaned over. But because of my back, I can't really ride super sports for a long period of time. So I've kind of drifted into the hyper nakeds. But we're getting to the point, especially with a premium hyper naked like this, there is nobody I know that could outperform what this bike is able to do. The only thing I would say is I imagine there's a lot of you guys out there that when you think of hyper nakeds, you do think of really torquey motorcycles. While this bike is at the higher level of the hyper naked power range, both in horsepower and torque, the power is held higher up in the rev range. So you do have to be wanting a motorcycle that kind of rides more super sporty than low down grunty. If that's what you're looking for, I don't know if I've ridden a better hyper naked than this. The only kind of weirdness is that high up power band, and where the power is, it's very super sporty. So if you like riding your motorcycles very super sporty, I don't know if it gets better than the BMW S1000R, truly. This bike is officially one of my top 3 bikes I've done a first ride on in the last year, and it might be even higher than that. I really enjoy this bike a lot. My favorite BMW I've ever ridden, I'll put it that way. By a dramatic, like, 3 miles. But anyways, guys, I don't know. I could say a lot more about this bike, and maybe, who knows, BMW sees this video, they're like, hey, we need to get him a loaner bike. Maybe that happens and I can make more content on it, but for now, that's all I got. And before we get out of here, I do need to give a shout out to my guys over at Mountain Motorsports. That's the dealership we started at. If you guys are in the market for your next motorcycle and you're in the North Georgia area, make sure to check out Mountain. They got like 5 or 6 locations, and you can get a discount at Mountain at the link in the description. Go check them out. If anything, go sit on a lot of motorcycles, because you can get a really good vibe of how you fit on a lot of bikes when you go to one of those huge dealerships like Mountain Motorsports has. Sit on a ton of bikes, figure out which one's right for you. But anyways, guys, hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, make sure to hit that like button. I appreciate you riding around with me. I'm Chaseontwowheels, and I'll see you on the next one. Later. Outro crew, put OC in your comment. Thanks for getting to the end of the video, and let us know in the comments down below, guys, is this the best BMW's ever made? Because I'm pretty sure it might be. Golf clap in the chat if anything. All right, guys, I appreciate you getting to the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.